Every single egg in your fridge right now came from a hen. No hen, no egg. That's just biology. But here's the thing nobody thinks about. That hen had a brother. Same parents, same hatch, same day. So where is he? He's not on a farm somewhere living his best life. And he's definitely not in your fridge next to the eggs. So what actually happened to him? Now, your first guess is probably, okay, they just get turned into chicken meat, right? Simple. Nope. That's not it. Your second guess might be, well, maybe people just don't eat rooster. Also wrong. People have been eating rooster for thousands of years. So if it's not that his meat is bad, and it's not that nobody wants him, then what is going on? Because somewhere between a hen laying an egg and that egg hatching, about half of those chicks are about to have a very different life than their sisters. And the reason why is way weirder than you'd expect. Number 1, the 50-50 problem. Let's start with the basic math, because it's brutal in its simplicity. Every time a fertilized egg hatches, it's roughly a coin flip. 50% chance it's a girl, 50% chance it's a boy. That's just genetics doing its thing, same as literally every other animal on the planet. So on a commercial egg farm, hatching thousands of chicks every single day, you're getting thousands of males every single day too. And that's where the story actually starts. Number 2, killing the obvious answer. Let's clear something up right now, because this is the part people get wrong constantly. Male chicken meat is completely fine. There's nothing biologically wrong with it. Roosters have been raised for food for literally thousands of years in cultures all over the world, so his meat is bad is not the answer. Cross that one off. Here's what almost nobody realizes. Modern chickens aren't just chickens anymore. Over the last century, breeders basically split the entire species into two completely different specialists. On one side, you've got layers. These birds are genetically tuned like a machine to do one job: pump out eggs consistently for months on end. On the other side, you've got broilers. These birds are built to do the opposite job: grow fast, get big, and become meat as efficiently as possible. Think of it like a sprinter and a bodybuilder. Both are elite athletes, both are humans, but you would never ask Usain Bolt to compete in a bodybuilding show, and you'd never ask a bodybuilder to run 100 meters in under 10 seconds. They're built for completely different games. Layers and broilers are the same deal. Same species, opposite jobs. And that's the whole answer.
So picture the male chick that hatches on an egg farm. He came from layer parents. That means genetically he's built to be lean, efficient, and small, because that's what makes a good egg-laying hen. Nobody bred him to grow fast or put on muscle, because on the layer side of the industry, nobody cares about that trait. So he can't lay eggs, obviously, and he also doesn't grow into a proper meat bird either, because that's just not what his genetics were optimized for. Compare him to an actual broiler chicken, bred specifically to hit slaughter weight in about 6 weeks. The male layer chick would take way longer to get there, eating feed the entire time, for a bird that ends up smaller and less profitable anyway. Basically, he's stuck in the middle, not a layer, not a good broiler either. And on a scale of millions of birds, that math adds up to a real economic problem. Here's where it gets interesting though, because roosters weren't always the industry's problem child. Go back before industrial farming, and roosters actually had plenty of value. They were used for breeding, they were eaten. In a lot of cultures, they were symbols of status, even used in ceremonies and folklore. So what changed? Scale changed. Once chicken farming turned into a massive, hyper-efficient global industry, every single animal that didn't pull its weight economically became a problem to solve. And male layer chicks were the biggest one. So what actually happens to them? For decades, the standard practice across the industry has been culling male chicks shortly after hatching, because raising millions of birds that can't lay eggs and can't efficiently become meat just doesn't make financial sense at scale. And yeah, that's the part of this story that makes people uncomfortable. It should. It's the actual reason this topic keeps coming up online, in headlines, in debates about the egg industry. This isn't some fringe issue. We're talking about billions of chicks a year, globally. But here's the part most people genuinely don't know yet.
This isn't a maybe someday story anymore. It's happening right now. Scientists developed something called In-ovo sexing, technology that can look inside an egg before it even hatches and figure out whether it's male or female. If it's identified as male early enough in incubation, that egg simply doesn't go on to hatch at all. No chick, no culling, problem solved at the source. And this isn't stuck in a lab somewhere. Germany banned chick culling outright back in 2024, based on research into exactly when embryos develop the ability to feel anything. France followed, Italy's rolling out its own ban, the Netherlands is targeting 2026, and the US, which had zero regulation on this for decades, just caught up in a big way. In December 2024, an American egg producer hatched the country's first in-ovo sexed chicks on US soil. Walmart, the biggest retailer on the planet, has now told its egg suppliers this is a priority area going forward. More brands are rolling it out through 2025 and into 2026. So the loop your hook opened is genuinely closing in real time while you're watching this. One more thing before we wrap this up, because it's honestly kind of funny. In a lot of countries, rooster is still a beloved dish. Ever heard of coq au vin? That's literally rooster, slow cooked in wine, and it's a classic in French cooking. Tougher meat, cooked low and slow, turns out incredible. So the solution to this whole problem existed the entire time, on a menu. So here's the actual takeaway. The male chicken was never worthless because of anything wrong with him biologically. He can be eaten. He's not defective. What made him worthless was a system, an industrial machine built entirely around efficiency, where one sex just happened to score higher on the spreadsheet than the other. And now, for the first time in about a century, that spreadsheet is finally starting to change. So next time you crack an egg into a pan, you're not just looking at breakfast. You're looking at the result of 100 years of decisions about what counts as useful in an industry that's only just now starting to rethink